Thank you, baby.
So it's been a really difficult last couple of weeks, especially this past week when we lost our little girl Mocha. We tried very hard to rehabilitate her, but obviously the damage to her brain was just far too much and it was permanent. We wouldn't have been able to rehabilitate her to a point where she could have a good quality of life. It just wasn't a possibility. And then once she started to get the fluid on the lungs, we knew that she was going downhill and it was time to call it a day for her. So we gave it our best shot, and so did she. She was a damn fighter, I can tell you that right now. So once Betty's ready, we'll put her in the next door neighbour's paddock again and have her serviced, and I'm sure the next calf will be just as strong and just as gorgeous as Mocha was. So now it's time to move on the farm. So we're working on the garden. The frost basically devastated pretty much everything we planted, except for what the pigs planted because it's supernatural. So now it's up the hill to collect some beautiful soil, start planting some more seeds, get them going, ready for once this winter period is over. I'm not chancing putting anything too much into the garden. We did put in some corn and some peas, which I had sprouted about 12 weeks ago. They were ready to go in, and I also transplanted the capsicum out there. Rob and I put up some posts and some string for the peas, and that's about all we're doing with our current planting. And the other project we're working on is sorting out our storage. So in our laundry room, or where our toilet is, and shelving, we're putting in a second sink and bench top with some cupboards. So we'll have some processing space for when we start processing the chickens and guinea fowl. We also need that space for processing milk twice a day. We're bringing in about 8 litres morning and night. We certainly need some more fridge storage as well. Lots of things to do still. We're on and up from here. We've had a little bit of a pause and reflection through this period. We've learnt a lot. We feel like we've lost a lot, but we've also gained a lot. And we know that we will stick together through thick and thin whenever anything good or bad happens around here. And we're glad that you guys are here to support us too. And on that point, please subscribe. It is free and it does support our channel and help us to keep the videos coming. So subscribe, hit the like button, and make sure you press the bell, because then you'll get notified when our next video is being released. Thank you so much for watching. We do really appreciate it. We try and make it fun and fast-paced. So stick with us. We've got lots of projects coming up, and we look forward to bringing them to you.
Live from your heart, babe. Don't hide in fear. Beware of fool's gold, smoke and mirrors.
Hello, guys and girls. Today we have to go fix a fence. So on the quad we go. So as you see behind me here, we had a few cattle run through there last night. So the wire's intact, it's fine. I just got to restrain it up. So all I'm going to be doing is just straining this up and just retying it off. We're going to be doing this whole fence line down the track. Looks like Rocco's decided he likes the grass. Have a look at this. Little bugger in here. Nice grass though. Done. I might just strain the rest up while I'm at it. So I've done this side as well. Strain them all up. Pliers, strainers, proper job. mad. Go Maggie! Go Maggie! Oh, she found. I think Maggie wants to be a dog or a goat. She can't decide which one. Let's go. Farm life.
So take care of yourself and love fearlessly. And keep yourself in good company.
Well, it's been a really busy couple of weeks, but now we have a bit more time in our hands. I'm back in the garden today to have a look at the devastation from the frost. Dogs in the background there. And to see what else is ready to plant out. Corn and peas that I planted about 12 weeks ago, we planted out into a garden bed with soil. And we've planted out some of the capsicums that I had running as well. Today I've just had a look at the pumpkins. They're pretty much devastated from the frost. Potatoes and sweet potatoes are pretty much gone. And we have some beetroot coming through, a little bit of bok choy, and some more capsicums coming up, which should be ready to plant out soon as well. So I guess it's back to planting some more seeds and hoping for better for this time round. So now it's up the hill to collect some beautiful soil.
Heading up the west coast in the morning to find a place where no one knows our faces or our names. If we don't leave now, we might never make it out alive. Plans are changing, rearranging all the time. So come away with me, let's break free. We could fall asleep where the land and ocean meet. Wake up to the sounds of no one around. And as the sun comes up, the glow will show us where we need to go. All this waiting, so frustrating, let's just drive. So come away with me, let's break free.
Now, mill time. I think I'm going to completely cut the T-strut apart and re-weld it in a jig fashion. You stay there again and I'll do the work. All right, go and get yourself a beer or a coffee or a cup of tea, depending on what time of day it is, or a glass of wine. Sit back, enjoy, because I'm sure Nick would do a time lapse of this. Right, Nick? There's two things that's given me the shits. One is this really clumsy system. I just don't like it. And the other one is the squareness of this T-piece, and also the actual squareness of that. Now, I measured the top of the bar here last night down to the corner and down the corner. It was actually about 2 millimeters, which is what, 16th, I guess, 8th, 16th, out, 3/16. So I'm going to make a jig, get it 100% square, cut this, re-weld it in the jig. So I found this old gate, the wild pig catcher crate thing. So obviously we're not going to be using that again. So I'm going to cut it and shape it into a new one of these because I just don't like it. So guys, remade these. I made them wider, got the holes perfectly aligned. Now I've got bolt through there. I've cut it off, got the right height. I've put a nut and bolt. You can see that? Yeah, you can, nut and bolt in there. I'm going to weld that up in position, do the same there. Wash, rinse and repeat for that one. And get it welded up. How am I going to get that nut out? That's a problem. I'm going to have to grind this off. Think of another way. I'll be right back. Righto, disaster averted. The only reason I can't leave it in there is because these are the last nuts I have. And living where we live, it's going to take a long time to get some more. Ready? Voila. I'm pretty happy. So I've got these spacers. They're going to clamp against the chainsaw blade. Bar black sheep. Oops. Chainsaw blade, clamp, done up. Yeah! Alright. So, I've welded this up. And it's 100% square. How do I know? Special little tool. It's this little thing here. It's a digital level. Now when you turn it on, it goes that way, it goes that way. So I got my angle on the horizontal, like that. See that little bar there? Then when I put the other one on there, it should read 90 degrees. Error. But it reads 90 degrees. So tacked it, got it 100% true, clamped the absolute shit out of it. Tacked it again, checked it, tacked it, checked it, tacked it, checked it, tacked it, checked it, tacked it, checked it. Zip, zip, weld. And it is 100%. Wow, it's 0.07 of a degree. But actually the steel moves that much. So what do you do, eh? What do you do? Weld these bars like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'll make sure this is 100% flat, 0 degrees. I'll get this 90 degrees. So I've got that on the horizontal, and you can see this at the top of this little screen. It's got an angle. So the bottom one is telling me it's pointing downhill. So I've got to tap this end to make this 0. Like that. You see how that air fluctuates? Now it's pointing up. Now it's pointing down. It is that cute. There. So all I've got to do now is make the other one 90 degrees. See, even this here, that should read 90 degrees, but it's not. So what do you do, eh? I mean, that's half a degree. That's 8.75 millimeters per meter. So guys, another morning. Battery ran out unfortunately, so I kind of missed a bit of footage for you. So let me explain where we are. I've fully welded the brackets up, made sure they are truly 100% 90 degrees. As you saw, I used the digital measuring angle finder. I've ground these down so really nice and smooth. Spent about 20 minutes on the sander getting these really smooth so they slide up and down nicely. Made sure these are 90 degrees. This one, so that's how well they slide now. So I put it together. I'll check, see if the chainsaw is still sharp. Then we'll get into cutting some wood. Hopefully get some timber out for the deck subfloor to finish that off to get round to the bathroom project. So on further inspection on the chain, I noticed there was a couple of nicks out of it, so I decided to put it back on the grinding machine and give it a bit of a clean up. This handle locks the chain in, and the grind on a certain angle, a certain pitch, will give you a nice sharp tooth. Just like that. Onto the next. This is the first one I've done. So I've done one round already. Yep. I always do that to check to see if the guide or the brackets moved. Now, that's at 15 degrees. I'm going to spin it the other way. Go at 15 degrees on the right side of the blade now. Sorry, the left. Pro tip, I always use a Nico pen to mark where I've been. So that's the sharpened tooth edge there. Not bad, eh? So I'll finish sharpening that off, get it on the saw, get the Alaskan sawmill put together, and I will see you over at the wood pile. Well, I'm all loaded up, ready to go. So let's just get on with it. That was digging right into my back. We are loaded, and that's the log I'm going to be cutting. So I'm having issues with that other log, so I need to eliminate if it's the log or if it's the saw. So I'll come on to another log. I've got my rails up. They're all lined up, ready to go. So I'll let the camera roll and you can see what I see. Same shit again. I'll show you. See how the blade coming out of there, it's actually diving down. I've sharpened this with a machine by hand, it did the same thing. I've sharpened it with machine, it's doing exactly the same thing. So it's not the sharpening. I've come to another log and it's doing exactly the same thing. I've rebuilt the sawmill, it's doing exactly the same thing. The only thing that is the same is the saw, the chain and the bar. Now, when I was doing this up before, I noticed that the bar had a curve in it. So I straightened it out with the adjustment bars, the height adjustment bars on the Alaskan saw. It's straight, but there's a hell of a lot of weight on this saw. The saw is great, powerful. It's a Burma Ag. Thanks Edison's, great saw, great delivery, appreciate it. The issue I think is the bar, and the only other way to really eliminate that is to put my small Stihl chainsaw in, which has only got a 18-inch cutting bar, and see what it does with that. I'll order another bar, an Oregon bar or a Stihl. At least I know it's good quality then, and give that a go.
Excuse me. There we go.
Okay, just had lunch. Had a discussion with, all right, enough. Thank you. Just had a discussion with Nick about the bar. So what I did was turn it over. On the top, you'd be a bit of wiggle. On the bottom, there's not so much wiggle. What was happening was when I was going into the wood, hello, darlings, look. Hello. Oh, yeah. So going into the wood, it was diving down, which makes me think that the blade was kind of coming out. It was struggling to cut through, so it was going down. So I did a bit of YouTube researching, and one guy said that you've probably got a warm bar or badly cut, sharpened blade. Well, I know they're not badly sharpened because I've done it on a machine and it's precise. So I had to go with the other alternative, which is the loose bar rail, if that makes sense. So I've turned it over. I'm going to give it a go. So let's give it a burl. Take 2. Still doing the same thing. I think I'm going to have to order a new bar and chain. I've adjusted it down 10 mil. I can give it another go with a complete new clean cut. Seems to be working. Well, it's definitely doing it. Saw blade doesn't seem to be cutting that well, but it's old, hard timber. So I've got to give it a break. Giving it a break to cool it down and to refuel as well. So I'll sign off here because you must be bored shitless by now, especially you, Nick, going through this. All right, over and out.
We're hoping that Eve might be pregnant, and so that's our second job today, is to separate her from the boys. But our first job is pulling this bathtub out to give ourselves some more storage room. We have family and friends coming to stay with us in September. It's currently towards the end of July. And we really need to organise the house a little bit more on the inside. We've been really focusing on the animals and the outside of the house. So today the inside's going to get a turn.
Yeah. One thing we haven't lost though, love, hope.
No, we never lose hope, and we always have fun along the way.
Yeah. Something else that doesn't get lost is Buddy's ball. Mind you, he's got 10,000 of them.
Yeah, the ball's always in action.
Right there.
So then, I don't know how the heck we're going to get this cast iron bath out of here and onto this decrepit trailer, especially with all these animals around.
Muscles.
But let's give it a go. Got steel caps on.
Got some enthusiasm.
Let's do it. Put a sink in there. We've got a twin sink to go in there and some bench space. So when we're processing our milk each day, we're not cluttering up the kitchen. When we're processing the guinea fowl or any other outside elements that are not...
Oh, what, love?
You got your tool out again.
Ready? That's for you.
So anything that's not really hygienic, that's more kind of industrial or processing type stuff, we can do in this room here with these sinks.
Yeah, go for it. Thank you. Unlike the sink of the Titanic, this ain't going to end up at the bottom of the ocean, but it is going to end up in the container. That container, not that container, but that container.
It is a sea container.
It is a sea container, but it's going to be on top. So we've got this stainless steel sink and a daddy long leg spider. But what we're going to do is we are going to make a cabinet, like a proper cabinet, aren't we?
Big proper one.
And then fit this in there. Don't worry, you sit there, we'll go and do it. You can watch. I'm just going to go tight there, my love. We are talking about 2 meters, 600.
Beautiful. Let's do it. So we're up to putting the cupboards together, but what we're going to do first is move the cupboards we have in there existingly. Turn the...
Existingly?
Existingly. We're going to turn around the hutch, or as Rob would call it, the Starsky, and create a little more space.
So we've drilled holes in here, 50mm up, 50mm down and 300 in between. It's a normal height cabinet, so you could get a washing machine underneath. It's your standard depth of 560 plus the bit behind, making it 600. So what we're going to do now is dry fit, screw it up. Let's just pop some glue in now, love, and you just do it. So guys, super pumped at how this turned out. Really impressed. It's going to make one hell of a difference to the way we function and operate in HQ. Now we've got this massive twin tub and all of that bench space. I'm going to put the shelf in there for Nick and the two doors and make the doors there. The hinges are on order and they're the European sort of style, the cabinet style ones. So got to wait for them to turn up. But I can get the doors made and we get them painted, get them all ready. So when the hinges turn up, we can just put them on. Hey, look at your box in there with your sewing kit. Maggie's ripped half the cardboard off already.
What?
Your cardboard box with your sewing kit in it. She's got in there and she's ripped half the
cardboard.
Oh. Never known anything like it. Nice work.
Is that the first door on?
Yeah, first door.
You get a lot out.
The older you make your curds, the harder your cheese will be. There is an egg.